Yo, 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 welcome back to my channel. I'm outside today because it's hot and the kids, I was about to, oof, child, Jayla's sick, so trying to work while she's home and on top of Jenny. I've been stressed and stressed. Today, I have an interesting topic that I want to discuss. And that is, why don't people expect you to grow? And I'm not talking about like, how do I put this? Like, why don't people expect you to grow, like, personally, like just your thoughts? Like, obviously, you know, we have a kid mind state at one point. Why don't people expect you to ever grow past that? Or, you know, just expand your horizon, have a different outlook on life, expand your morality, you know, your thought process. Like, why do people try to hold you in a box that you once was in? Or why do they just put their own limitations on you? And it can be really frustrating. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick backstory just so you kind of understand where I'm going with this. So I used to be in like a group of mutual friends. You know, when you're in your 20s, we all have friend groups, and then by the time you hit 30, you probably only have like one friend left out of that group, you know, because obviously everybody's partying, clubbing, or, you know, whoop, 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 whoop. And then obviously you grow and you either outgrow people because, like, you know, things happen and, you know, priorities change, mind state changes, where, you know, you either outgrow the situation or you outgrow the people. And then, you know how people always just be like, you know, not to say everybody's like this, but, you know, she thinks she's too good, or, you know, like, you know, she used to be this way, but now she's this, she thinks she's better than us. This is where those types of statements come from, because you outgrow the situation and you outgrow people. So like I said, quick backstory. So I used to be in a group of friends. It was like about 10 friends. Some were in relationships, some people were single. It was kind of just like one of those exciting groups. So things happened, like life happened to everybody. I kid you not. This was probably it's 2022, so this was probably like about 6 or 7 years ago. So things changed, the group changed, the group dynamics changed. Some people broke up, some people moved away, some people, you know, just life happened, and, you know, everybody went in a different direction. So at one point I was still cool with about, you know, like a few people. Trust me, like, nobody's on bad terms. It was just like, you know, I just grew up, and, like, you know, for one, I became a mom. So it's like, obviously now that I'm a mom, once I became a parent, you can't move how you move when you don't have kids. And a lot of people don't understand that. Even people with kids, they be like, oh, you know, I'll never switch up, I'm still gonna remain the same person. That's a lie, because you will grow up. So yeah, I was in this group of friends, and yeah, life just happened to everybody, and we all went in different directions. I became a parent, so I went in that direction. And once you become a parent, I mean, yes, the first year you're struggling postpartum, you know, trying to figure out where do you go from here. But I feel like I was just, because I got pregnant at 27. No, 6 years ago. Goodness, okay, so I got pregnant at 26 because I'm about to be 32. So yeah, 6 years ago. So I got pregnant, and then yes, the first year was kind of rough. I was still finding myself, still finding who I am as a mom, blah, 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 blah. So then by the time my daughter was turning 1, getting closer to 2, I kind of started to see myself in a different light, because yes, I am a parent, but I was in a relationship, we're still together. So it's like my life I started to create a family dynamic. So things around me, so I had my bubble that I was creating, and then things around this bubble had kind of started to shift. Relationships started to shift. Just a lot of things was happening. So I had a really good friend at this time, and I was helping her with her business, and I became pregnant. We went through pregnancy. Literally the year after I had my baby, she got pregnant. So we went through pregnancies together. And like I said, this friend group had already kind of started to transition out. People started to go in different directions. So it was already happening. But me and her kind of just tried to, hold ours together. And like I said, we became moms, but I was a mom ahead of her. So, I was helping her with her business, and during that time, I was just obviously when everybody met me, I used to be like this super hard, like tried to be tough girl, because I have been through it's one of those things, like if you knew the story, you would know where I was coming from. Maybe one day I'll take a trip down memory lane, but I have been through so much, just like trust, hurt, pain, growing pains, just so many different things. So I was definitely one to keep a wall up. So I was like the tough girl. You can never. I portray my goofiness and my light through. I shine through pain. So I've always been one of those type of people. You'll even, no matter what I'm going through, you'll really I never wear it on my sleeve. Some days, yes, it is hard just to stay positive, when the darkness comes, but I just try to remain, I always try to make light of the situation and just try to, move on and move into a different headspace, because you just can't wear the negativity, because you just have to. It is life, things happen. So I was always the tough cookie, I was like, I'm born in Tennessee, raised in Chicago, so, and now I live in LA. So it's like 3 major cities, but obviously different dynamics. So when I first got to LA, I was very much a tough cookie, and, LA people were, so shady. I had seen so much shady stuff going on. And so once I kind of found my people, I obviously had people transition here with me, but that's another story, child. So once I kind of found my group of people that, I was able to coexist with and feel comfortable with, and kind of let my guard down a little bit, I just went and rolled with it. So, once I became a mom, all of that kind of just transitioned out of me. It was like, you can't be hard. You can't be like this tough girl. Like, you really have to figure out which way you're going to take your life, which direction you're going to go in. I really hadn't found a career. I was not doing real estate at this time. I was still very much in retail. And like I said, I was helping a friend with their business, built their business up through pregnancy. And, we were really tight. We were pretty much helping through each other through everything. She was there for my personal stability, and I was kind of there for her business stability. So it was kind of like yin and yang. We kind of just balanced each other. I know that's hard to say, but it's like, you just find those people that you just, you really, just vibe with, cling to, and, we just kind of took it from there. But yeah, once I had a kid, I had to figure out what was going on with my life. I obviously did not want to work for them the entire time, work for my friend, this friend at the time. I didn't want to, I didn't plan on being at, working I'm my own boss now. So I did not plan on either, for one, I did not plan on going back to retail. I'm originally from like the fashion industry, so I did not plan on going back to retail. I was pretty much fine with working with my friend at the time, because since I was a mom, I was still pretty much able to make my own schedule. Like, it was just one of those like relationships where, everything kind of worked in my favor, which I am completely 100% grateful for, because I kid you not, without her, like some of my really dark moments, I would not have gotten through. So just to let you know the dynamic of our relationship, like we were like two peas in a pod. Like if you saw her, I wasn't too far behind. If you saw me, she wasn't too far behind, or we was like linking up within the next 20 minutes. So like that's how deep it was. But like I said, again, once I became a mom, I really just needed to figure out which direction my life was gonna go. I didn't want to be stuck. I was creating a bubble, but there was some adjustments that I needed to make with this bubble. As I said, I was creating a family dynamic. And so, when you're creating a family, there's just some things you can do and there's some things you can't do. And obviously, I met an amazing partner that just, has allowed me to grow and go through the growing pains to grow. This is now my new yin to my yang, because he's just amazing. He has like taught me so many things. He has brought so many things to the table. I was very arrogant and stubborn when we first met, but within us creating our own little bubble, it was time for me to grow. And so, long story short, I just wanted to give you guys kind of a background history. So long story short, a couple weeks ago, I met with another mutual friend from this friend group. So like I said, I'm still like friends with honestly, maybe like 2 or 3 people. This was probably a group of maybe a little less than 20 people. So I'm still friends with 2 people, and some are associates. So that just lets you know how that situation went. But yeah, so we went out to lunch the other week, and he was like, your old friend, she kind of felt like you kind of left her in the dust. You guys were supposed to be family, and you were supposed to be like this tough person, and you was able to stick it out through anything, and you was gonna ride or die for her. And I was just the thought popped in my head literally, and I was like, for somebody to think so low of me, for one, that speaks volumes. And the audacity for somebody not to expect me to grow. Yes, I'm always gonna be down to my core 100% who I am. I'm very much what's that meme that's out there that's I'm medium ghetto, I'll keep it classy but I'll drag somebody in a second. That is very much me. So it was just the audacity for someone to expect me not to grow past the situations, or not to even just want more for myself. Like I said, I'm a mom, so now I have 2 kids, and just for somebody to just even think that, I was just ugh, you're growing, your business is popping, I got you to where you needed to be, and you wanted to just hold me down here when you're leveling up. How rude, ignorant, and just literally the audacity. And I was just when he said that, and I'm making this video because I was so triggered by it, because it was girl, I did everything for you. Just don't get me wrong, you did a lot for me as well, but as much as you did for me, I did double for you. So for you to just even say that is just do people not want you to become more than them? Do people not want you? Do they feel like that you're gonna leave them behind, or are they that narcissistic where they have to have control over you, and if you're thinking about anything outside of them, they don't understand it, they don't get it? So like I said, I was helping her with her business, and things happen in the business, and I just decided to step away. And just for somebody to hold me so low in such a crazy space, I was just like, that is really terrible and sad. And I'm just like, there's always three sides to the story: your side, their side, and the truth. But I'm extremely open and honest about every situation. Like, I don't have a problem with keeping it, saying it the way it is and keeping it real. But it's like, for somebody to just think so low of you that, oh, I didn't expect her to be doing that. Like, I thought she was gonna hold me down for forever. It's like, what? So you was just gonna keep getting all the money, and I was just supposed to, like, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? So when me and my last friend standing, when we were at lunch and we were having this conversation, like I said, I was immediately triggered, and I was just like, wow. Like, just it just be the audacity for me. Like, people really just be like, people really just are narcissists. And it's just crazy. And I'm 100% and always my authentic self. And I feel like, of course, the things that we go through and the things that we experience in life, and the anger and the hurtful situations, I just feel like it creates a certain dynamic, and everybody starts moving different, which nobody is at fault for that. And I think, yes, time heals all wounds, but I think it was so triggering to me because I thought, wow, they would have definitely understood, where I was coming from. I was a new mom, and things were just going very different for me at the time, and I needed to figure out my life. But for them to come back and say, and this is nothing, like, me and this friend were just having a mutual conversation, and they were just explaining to me, like, how the other party felt. And so by no means is it at their fault. They were just saying how people, but I was just so triggered in the moment that I was like, I'm ready to tell my story. Why do people not expect you to grow? And it's like, why do people just try to hold you beneath and just like keep you at the bottom? And I mean, hey, I'm always one to believe that everybody can't go. Everything happens the way it does for a reason. Because if me and her would not have fallen out, I don't think I would be where I'm at today. Like, who's telling where I would have been at that, like, now, who I would be now. Because it's been about 3 years since we've had a falling out, and yeah, we fell out because our views were just becoming different at the time, and I just decided to move on. Like I said, I became a mom, so I had to move on with my life. Not by no means did I not want to be friends, but it's like, you didn't understand the process that I needed to go through in order to grow. So it just really sucked at the end of the day. But yeah, it's like, why do people try to just keep you so small and just so beneath them? It's like, you want to continue to grow, but you rather hold me down here while you're up here. And I just thought that was very ugly and very selfish and very nasty. But yeah, I just wanted to, come express that to you guys, because I'm just like, I know people go through these moments all the time, and it's like you hear about it, and it's like, you know, and it's crazy because it's like I just had another situation where a girl from high school, she called me talking about, you used to be a bully, da 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 da, and I'm like, and she was like, you know, it was hard for me to let go of who you used to be. And I'm like, girl, it's 2022. We went to school together in 2004. It's pretty much 18 to 20 years later. And you still think I'm that person? It was just like, what? First of all, I wasn't even a bully. Did you understand the dynamics? We all know how middle school and high school situations go when it's girls. So it's like, do you know what you brought to the table? And by no means did, you know, I bring that up to her because, you know, I didn't want to trigger any emotions. I didn't know what she was going through. But, you know, we all have such different opinions, and for people to constantly think that you're not growing and you're not doing the self-work, so I've let it go. But like I said, I was just triggered in the moment where it just resurfaced so many feelings, and I had to come and vent. I had to come and vent because it was just like, wow, I can't believe it. But yeah, I didn't want this video to be super long. I just wanted to come and talk to you guys. So feel free to leave any comments in the, you know, comment section. You know, any thoughts that you have. But I will see you guys soon. Yeah, love y'all. Bye.